Good evening and welcome to Swim. Yes, Swim has never left, but I'll say I'm back for the purposes of explaining what I'm about to say. A couple of weeks ago, I decided I would end the Swim based on how we knew it every week for the past almost 3 years. I've been coming on Wednesday evening with my thoughts, views, and comments on how we listen, hear, pay attention. Pretty much just bringing awareness to listening, hearing, and paying attention. What we do with that information along the way. And that's still a part of what I'm just going to deem as my calling right now, because I have a passion for listening and hearing and paying attention. Even more so, just general communication. We can talk all the time. We can have a conversation. But are we communicating? Are we understanding? Are we at peace? Do we know how to be at peace with things that we just don't like? Or if we have our mind set on, something going a certain way and it doesn't work the way we expected, are we prepared or trained or have any information on how to just allow what is to just simply be? Okay? Well, that's not going anywhere. I'm just doing some different things right now, and I will be coming on with my Swim just whenever I feel like it. So today was one of those days I'm having a moment, and I was out in the street today and I just thought I would start writing, and that's become a passion of mine recently, and that's what my book was supposed to be about. My book was supposed to be a compilation of all of my writings, and then me explaining what they meant and how they were inspired. So there's a special section in my memoir. It's called just that, the special section. It just has a collection of some of the poems, or I don't even want to call them poems, just moments of inspiration that I just captured on paper and shared. But that's what it was supposed to be about. So I have had this moment today, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I want to read what I wrote. And because I was in the streets and I just took a moment to just jot this down, I'm not going to go into details with what I wanted to write, but I'll talk about it for a few minutes. I think I'm going to do 15 minutes. So if you can be here for another 10 minutes or so, I thank you in advance. Okay, now before I say this, I want to talk about my son and something he said to me a few weeks ago when I started sharing my thoughts about something general. He said to me, you've been influenced by those people you're listening to. He didn't have that tone, but that's just how I kind of received it. And of course, I denied it, but there was some truth into it. I do listen to certain people, and yes, I have been impacted by things that they say. And there are people that have taken sides, and not necessarily like in any type of competition, but there are some things, excuse me, there are some things that are just flat out obvious as it relates to dogs and cats, horses, donkeys, and zebras, and men and women. There's a big difference. And there's this drive for equality. And, there are some things that are just different, that are starting to wake me up at night, so to speak, or to distract me from sometimes some of my daily focuses. So I had a moment. I wrote this. I'm going to share that, and then I'm going to tell, a little bit about what inspired this writing. It goes as follows, and thank you again. Women tend to receive empathy from society. When men make ourselves vulnerable, we can't cry. When our heart breaks or we become disappointed with experiences. Women tend to have many friends to lean on and even cry with. They seem to feel better together, the sisterhood. Most men are alone and face our feelings in the mirror with nothing or no one to blame, criticize, or make responsible. Society will not accept our tears or excuses in exchange for any forms of empathy. Even when we're doubtful, we still face the front lines of fire with courage and jump in head first. We get what we get. Tell me where the lie is. I just had a moment and I thought I would write that. And the reason I wrote it is because of what I'm going to say now. This is the closing part of this. And it says, to all of my fellow brethren, continue to do what you do with courage and know that in the end, we will rescue each other by just knowing that we may indeed be alone in society, but we are unified. There's not a man that will hear what I'm about to say and not be able to say, amen, my brother. And it's this, we don't get to make excuses. And even if we cry, we're probably going to be called soft or weak. We don't get the empathy or the sympathy from society that women receive. That's no knock against women. Women probably should receive a little more empathy. I'm more empathetic towards women than I am, most men. So I'm not saying that's anything right or wrong with it. I'm just acknowledging something that's a fact. So with that being said, to all of my brothers, I think it was Michael Baisden who wrote this book, Men Cry in the Dark. And if I was to write a book, I would say men suffer in silence. And it doesn't mean we're weak. It doesn't mean we don't have, the shoulders to carry whatever burden we're faced on a daily basis. But it is something that I'm just bringing awareness to. We have tough days. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we're sad. But we don't want anyone to see us crying. You can find a woman crying anywhere you go. I don't care what it is. Let something emotional happen and there goes the tears. And then everybody's going to gather around. We know the story. But you can't see that too often with men. And when you do, it's definitely something that's obvious that, we can get a pass for at least just showing the tears. But you know what we have to do? We have to hurry up and get on with life. And that's what my message is with everything I just said. And it is to the brothers, brethren, men. It's okay. We know inside that we're strong, we're powerful, and we have what it takes to get through. And on those days where we just may not necessarily feel as strong as we would like society to see us, we need to know that it's okay. Get in our corners, go ahead and cry if we need to, scream if we need to, shout if we need to, but get up, dust ourselves off, and let's get back into this race that we must continue and complete. With that being said, do me a small favor. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it. Show it. Mean it. Let it be true. Till the next time, take good care of yourself, and thank you.